Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paul McGinley Field for this match between the Trinity Tigers and the Schreiner Mountaineers. Trinity coming in 10-1 and 2. Schreiner coming in 3-9 and 2. Fresh off their first conference win. I'm Chris Huckman, with me is Scott Lebo, and Scott, both teams coming in off a win makes this a bit more interesting than I think we were anticipating.
Yeah, it looks to be a good game tonight between these two teams as we get ready for the national anthem, and we'll be back in a second.
For our nation. Live on the Tiger Network. Live on Trinity.
And as you were saying, Scott.
Yeah, it's Trinity haven't allowed a goal at home. It's a record that they would like to see stand for the rest of this season, and that includes tonight. And so it's going to be a defensive effort from them, but obviously you want to grab some goals as well, and they've had their fair share of goals here as well.
Yeah, so on that, they are third in shutout percentage in the country, 0.846. And Lauren Lewis is second in the country with individual shutouts with 9. She could theoretically go top with a shutout today because I don't think the other goalkeeper is playing tonight. So that would put them tied on 10. Also, notable stat, 6th in individual assists per game is Michaela Bosca, 0.85. She's 9th on individual assists with 11 on the season. Trinity's 9th corners per game, 7.77, and went down after last weekend. And that is where they stand in the stat charts. Big chance Lauren Lewis could end the season as the national leader for clean sheets. Madison Margansky's my play to watch. She's on a good scoring run. She scored the opener on Sunday. She's really secured a spot as a starting player in the last few weeks. For Schreiner, I'm looking at Kylie Bush, scored her first goal of the season on Sunday. It was the 1-goal, 14th minute winner, which you don't say often. But 14th minute winner for Kylie Bush sent them to their first conference win of the season.
For Schreiner? Do you have one for Trinity as well?
I've got that. So anyway, just having a chat with the fourth there. Needed some stuff.
Some rosters that
Some
we happen to
rosters
have.
what we had lying around. So, teams are getting ready to go. It's fall might have finally come. It's still a little warm tonight. But we have actually had temperatures in the 70s. It's been cool in the mornings.
Yeah, tonight's been warmer than it has been in previous days.
Which,
but
of course,
signs of things to come.
So hopefully when we're back here in November,
Right.
which sounds crazy, but that's 9 days away that we're back here. So, back here next Friday. So it's not that bad. But it will hopefully be a bit cooler. But this has probably been one of the cooler games we've had this year. So... And it's only going to get better as the game goes on. So that'll be helpful for everybody going forward. Trinity are in the pink. Last match in October. So crack out the pink kits. They're going right to left for this first half. Schreiner in the white. They're going to go from left to right on your screen for the first half. Tigers versus the Mountaineers. Mountaineers are looking for their first ever win against Trinity. Schreiner was the first NCAA school in Texas to offer wrestling. Here's your fun fact of the day. If that ever comes up in trivia, you got the answer. You're welcome. As we are underway, the Tigers get us started and immediately look to use the wing. Pretty common for them to go right straight off the kickoff. They like to exploit the speed that Michaela Bosco offers on that right side.
Yeah, sometimes with speed like that, you can catch another team off guard, and so you get to Bosco quickly, and maybe they're not prepared for her to run at them like she normally does, right?
And she's been in form as well. She's up to 2 goals and 11 assists, so she's had, I think, 3 assists in the last 3 games and a goal, so been busy in these away games that they've played. They'll be back on the road on Friday. Last road game of the season for them, for the regular season at least. But a win today will clinch the playoff berth for Trinity. I think a draw would also be enough.
It's a testament to how well they've played this year, that they're already at that stage in the season where we're talking about clinching things for the rest of the year.
Yeah, 3 games to go after this one. And so if they win these next 2, they will be regular season champions. No one will be able to catch them. They last year got off to a pretty slow start and then recovered. This year's been none of that. It's just been all good start. Still no ranking though. I got some beef with that. Goes far post, chance for a header, just stayed up. The ball just held up, so she couldn't get a header under it enough to generate the power needed. Came off the back of her head, goes out wider than she wanted, and the end result is a goal kick for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, but that's the first time that Trinity get a ball into the box. They had possession for a long spell there, worked it well, were patient. It's something you like to see early on. Sometimes I feel like Trinity's had issues with forcing balls early when maybe there aren't players waiting in the box. Not the case there. Waited, found the opportunity, almost made the most of it.
Yeah, there were a lot of options in the box on that one, which was good because, yeah, often one of the challenges with Bosco's speed is often that there's no one in the box when she's ready to deliver it, and she has to slow back, cut back. It allows defenders to recover. But this time, a lot of options in the box, which will be pleasing for Dylan Harrison on the Trinity bench. Quickly approaching 150 wins with the Tigers. So 142, so possible this year. Could happen. If they keep up their SCAC record, he'll be very close at the end of SCAC play. So free kick there for Schreiner to relieve some of the pressure. I did see the men had a training session just before this game. Saw them actually heading back to the showers just now on the far side of the field. So I suspect a number of them will be back down to watch.
It looked like they were training some beach volleyball today for their session. I'm sure they had some.
Yeah, I think that was their cool
well.
down because they came over after. I saw them on the intramural pitch on the far side, but when I came in this afternoon. Yeah, no breeze today too, which is a bit different because we've often had a breeze coming in from this right-hand side goal as you see it on your screen. Light for Havens. Turns. Havens had her first career start on Sunday, so this is her second straight start in the team.
Yeah, and her coming in, I've noticed, moves Williard over to that right side. Williard has been playing on this left side pretty consistently with Campbell over on the right.
Big chance, beautiful ball in. It's put away well by Madison Barganski. Still had to work for that shot because it came at her a little higher than I think she'd originally have liked, but she did well. Side foots it into the back of the net. Really good goal there from the Tigers. Well worked. Madison Barganski puts it away for her 6th goal of the season. We'll get another look at it. It's a beautiful cut back to her, though.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable cutback. Tight angle all the way at the end line. Cuts it back exactly where Barganski wants it. Right spot. Maybe, as you said, the height's a little off, but Barganski can take care of that. gets her foot up to it and just passes it home at that point. Just has to put it wide of the keeper, and she does it brilliantly.
And so 5 minutes in, we got our first goal. 1-0 for the Tigers. Barganski puts it away. 6th goal of the season, 9th of her career. So she'll be looking for 10. There she is on the ball now.
And you talked about she's had a run in the starting 11. That's the reason why, right there. She brings a lot.
Yeah, she's had a run of goals too. So that's another game with another goal for Barganski.
Wow.
She scored against Austin College.
Bosco's so fast. Every time it amazes me. Oh!
Shot! It's a brace already for Barganski. Hit from the edge of the area. The power on that hit, we could hear how powerfully that was hit. And in less than a minute, 2 goals for the Tigers.
Wow. It's the same sort of shape around the shot when it does pop out to her. It's off the deflection, but she gets around it so well. That is an incredible finish on the volley, just inside the box, far side netting. That's an unbelievable finish.
And so forget what I said 30 seconds ago. She's got 10 career goals now. I said she'd be looking for 10 immediately. Now she's going to want the hat trick.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's now 4 straight games, at least 4, I think, that she's scored in. Certainly 4 of the last 5 that Barganski has scored in. That is exactly what you're saying. That's why she's got to run. And that volley, that's exactly what you want coming to you, too. The ball's dropping just enough. Allows you to get power behind it, get height, but not too much height, which can happen when the ball's rising. You can often get under it and get too much height on it. And in the blink of an eye, 2-0, Trinity over Schreiner. Oh, that's a beautiful ball up the left. Big chance here for Cancina. Cut down, cleared away by the Tigers, who I don't think are going to shut up shop at all. I think some thoughts that they wanted more goals against Austin College on Sunday. So
I think there was some thought of that from both the men's and women's team after those games this weekend.
Yeah, though I think the men did a little better.
Almost finding Abby Schneider through there. It's a good ball. I like the idea there. Just a little bit too much on it maybe. But to go back to the goal for Barganski, huge credit to Michaela Bosco as well. She darted down the line, again impressing me with that speed. But then the cutback, it takes a deflection, pops out to Barganski. But Bosco does a lot of work to get Trinity forward quickly in transition there. And because of the deflection, maybe goes a little bit unnoticed. But credit to her for that work, getting up the field, getting her team up the field, and then putting it into an area where dangerous things can happen.
Yeah, she can't get an assist because it came off a sort of shanked clearance. I don't want to say it was a deflection because that feels more harsh. But, you know, just a ball that didn't get as clear as Schreiner wanted. So she can't get an assist for it. But you're right, she did a lot of work to create that opportunity for the Tigers, who have very quickly found themselves 2-0 up. This is a dream start for Trinity and maybe about to get even better. Right as I say that, though. Trying to clear away. Kept in by Williard. Yeah, stayed in. Good work on the line.
Oh, pretty stuff there in the corner.
Chance to cut it back again. Just didn't get around it as much as they wanted on that shot.
I'll tell you what, Dylan Harrison and the coaching staff wanted that one because the build-up play down that side, a lot of one-touch between Williard, Bosco, and Werner to get that in a position for Bosco with the cutback cross. That would have been a pretty goal to watch back in film.
Yeah, I mean, both goals today.
Yeah.
Pretty goals in different ways. Both really good strikes from Barganski, too. It's got to be said. I think she'll be annoyed if she doesn't get a hat-trick now. If you pick up a brace in 5 minutes.
Right? No, I'm sure she'll play enough.
I don't know if we have the stat on what the fastest hat-trick is.
Ooh, for Trinity, I don't know.
I might have to try and look it up at halftime or talk to people who might know better than me. But it might be the fastest brace.
Could be. I'm not sure we've seen a faster one this season.
We definitely haven't seen a faster brace this season.
Be hard-pressed to have found a time where Trinity scored 2 that quickly at the start of a game. It might have been one game. I'm trying to think back. I do remember a few times that they scored quickly in succession, but I'm not sure it was that early
in the game. They've often taken some time to get into the game. And so this one, I think that's what's so pleasing from a Trinity perspective about this one is how quickly they've just gotten into the game.
Looks to me like Schreiner are going with a 4-5-1, a pretty defensive 4-5-1 at that. Kind of symbolizes to me that they came into this game with a defensive approach. They knew that Trinity are a dangerous team on the attack, and they want to set up to try and prevent that. However, it's going to leave them pretty vulnerable on the counterattack. They're not going to have many players forward to try and break that pressure. And sometimes that can be a problem defensively because you have no outlet. You have to stay back and defend because that's where all your players are. And at times you're going to want to relieve some of the pressure and get out of your own half to get a breather. As I've said many times, defending takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, it does take it out of you. And the weather today is just like deceptively warm. Like, there's just this, like, mugginess and heaviness in the air tonight.
Yeah, it's a little cooler, but it's still just as humid as it's been,
yeah,
right?
It's just, I know that I've been having some respiratory issues today for some reason, and this mugginess doesn't help, right? And so when you're working hard and there's just, like, this, like, heaviness in the air, it does drain you. So I looked it up. Fastest hat trick this season, it cannot be. 5 minutes.
Really?
Fastest hat trick of the season. It was Rosie Turbot for Springfield College. Scored a hat trick in 5 minutes. Oh, but that was in 5 minutes, not
ball.
5 minutes into the match.
Oh!
Just wide. Just didn't go in. That stayed out somehow. Corner though.
Yeah, I heard the call of handball from the coach there. That's one of those. I think it's close enough to the body, kind of a deflection. You're not going to call it. But then I don't know where the shot came from. And I think it's Bosco who gets it off.
The post.
Wow.
I think the keeper might have even got a touch on that,
Maybe.
directing it onto the post, which is always fun. Good corner. Good header away from Schreiner. Ball's going to fall favorably. Shot comes. But again, that's the difference in that volley. That's what I was talking about earlier. That ball was rising as she hit it. Much harder to hit when it's rising and going up.
Yeah,
like
she lined up for that shot. I was like, ooh, we're going to have a second one of these tonight.
We might have another volley. But it just started rising as she hit it. So, yeah, Rosie Turbot scored a hat-trick in 5 minutes, but it was in the second half. So, but that's the fastest hat-trick this season. That's the 14th fastest hat-trick in NCAA.
Wow.
I can't find anything more than that. That was my quick 2-minute Google while I'm on the air.
The fact that you were able to find that much is pretty impressive.
Yeah, my Google's gotten used to trying to find D3, obscure D3 stats. Because they all go into my notes. So it's gotten the hang of that. But that's the fastest one this year is 5 minutes, so.
In terms of time between goal one
Time
and goal
between goal
three,
1 and goal 3. It was
not start to goal
4:23.
three.
I think if she can do it soon, it'll be the fastest from the start of the match, though, because that
Could
happened
be.
in the second
Could be.
half.
Well, I guess we'll never know. We don't have that information.
Yeah, and I don't know how easily NCAA compiles that. I think it is in their list, though, of stat leaders that I look through each week. So maybe I'll have it for you next week if she hits this hat trick and we can check it. But Schreiner's come into the game now after those 2-0, defensively looking a lot stronger. Oh, they kept a clean sheet on Sunday, which, when your record's 2-10-1, you haven't done a lot of, so you've got to take those positives. Clean sheet and a win, huge for Schreiner. Goes far post, just runs out.
Yeah, I think she's looking for Barganski at that back post. She was there. It's just a little bit too much on it, brings it a little bit high. But the opportunity presented itself again for Trinity. I think, as you said, Schreiner have been better set up defensively recently, but the possession has still been dominated by Trinity. And so those chances are going to continue to come because, as you said, defending takes a lot of effort. And no matter how well you set up, you're going to give away some chances if you're stuck defending for the entire game.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to defend and defend and defend. You got to keep your focus up.
Yep.
And, you know, look, it's a Tuesday, so everybody's
Yep.
had class. Like, that alone is a mental load. I remember
Yeah, it's weird
coming
for me
back
to be
from
here.
class and being exhausted, just mentally. And now you got to play 90 minutes of soccer. You got to play 90 minutes of soccer after doing classes all day.
You got to go to class tomorrow as well.
You got to go to class tomorrow morning.
Thinking about homework you might have that's getting interrupted by the fact you have this game, maybe.
Is this a confession from you that you,
No.
that you haven't finished your homework for tomorrow?
I'm not sure what homework I have for tomorrow.
Oh, now it's all you're going to think about the rest of the night. Good work there. There was a call from the bench to have a hit. I think that would have been,
On our weaker foot, I think.
yeah,
Would have been a tough one.
from Werner. Would have been an optimistic one.
If she had it on her right, maybe. We've seen her hit some from distance,
I
I think
she
this
was
season.
just trying to, like, make that transition to her right
Yep.
foot, but she was well marked
Yeah.
to stop that, which shows Schreiner have done their homework. Keeper on the left foot. Did hear some talk earlier. I think we are going to see some more left field substitutions, shall we say, from Trinity in this game, because was given some pronunciation notes on some players we haven't seen a lot of. So we'll see
That'll
those
be fun.
less common players. Get on. That's something Trinity could do. Schreiner only have 16, so everybody's got to play when you've got 16. So referee was playing a long advantage. So the complaint here from Dylan Harrison, you see the referee sort of shrugging at him, is that that Dylan Harrison thought the advantage was over, in his opinion, because she had, in his words, he said she, quote, played out of it. For me, that's not an advantage. Like, just being able to play isn't an advantage. She didn't get any real territory out of it. There was no advantageous position.
Yep.
Compared to where they started. That's why the referee calls it up after the fact, because she didn't really gain any advantage from it.
Yeah, well, I like to think about it in terms of, well, what would you have gotten with the set piece if I had blown that whistle right away, right? So if you are losing something by me allowing you to play the ball because whatever you did was worse than what you could have done with a set piece, then the advantage is not worth it for you, and I'm gonna bring it back. Now, there is a time factor with that. If you decide to go short and keep possession for a little bit, then that's your choice.
Yeah,
And
time's part of the equation
Exactly.
as a referee. But yeah, I think it's a good way to think about it is what would have happened if I called it straight away? And would that have been better? Now, you could argue a lot of referees won't play advantage in the defensive half anyway because it's not very advantageous, period.
Yep.
So unless
It's
you've
true.
got a great counter, like he could have called it the second she turned and passed it back, and that maybe would have avoided the complaint. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, coaches are always going to want a decision that's best for their team that's not necessarily the correct decision, shall we say. So I think it was a fair decision. I don't think Dylan was
agree.
entirely upset about it, but it's about getting in the ear of the referee for later. Swung in. Oh, it was a good ball just over the head of her teammate. Comes back out, though.
Thought Kylie Harris was going to head it home. She might hear.
Good header just over the bar. I think the keeper had it.
Yeah, I agree. For a second, I thought it was just going to dip. And it hit the top of the net, and I thought for a second, I was like, no way that went in, right? No, it hit the top.
Yeah, off the top netting. I do think that Ford had it covered. But it was a good header nonetheless. Those are the kind of headers that can be really difficult as a keeper too, because they're looping, which headers don't often do. Headers are normally like powerful diagonal lines. This one was looping in, and I think if she was like a yard further back, that would have been more dangerous for the keeper.
Yep. It often depends on how you hit it and how the cross comes in. If the cross is a harder cross, it's hit more direct and less of a lofted placed cross. It's easier to redirect the power, but it is hard to generate power from a header. And I think that cross may be lofted a little bit too much, makes it kind of a lofted header afterward as well.
Now Jaden Ford is that goalkeeper, first-year goalkeeper out of Beeville. She's made 25 saves this season. She's had a lot of work. But does have her first win on her record. That win against Dallas goes to her, which means it was also her first clean sheet. Good ball forward here for Bosco to run onto. She gets there in front of her defender. She's got to cut it back. Swung in again for Barganski, almost identical to the goal. The second one she scored, just coming from a further ball with a lot more pace on it, made it a bit harder to get a leg around.
It would have been her third right-footed volley from the left side of the box. Would have been a incredibly interesting hat trick to have under your belt.
Yeah, it's not the perfect hat trick, but it's a pretty hat trick.
Yes,
Three volleys.
Very much so.
Ooh, that'd be a.
And three very similar volleys. That would be one of those where you show somebody, oh, look at this hat trick I scored, and they'd be like,
Yeah,
you just showed me the same.
Going on your reel.
You showed me the same goal 3 times.
Yeah, you have to keep the clock in the screenshot so people can see that it's different. Shot from distance.
That's a very different one.
Keeper did well. In the end,
gets it over.
Got enough on it. Those are the ones as a goalkeeper that are really difficult because it's taken a bounce off the pitch right in front of the keeper. So what she does well is she makes herself big as she can and she keeps the ball in front of her as much as she can. That bobble right there on a rough part of the pitch too did really well. Header goes wide. I know it doesn't look like she did well, but she did. You have to trust me. That's good goalkeeping.
Yeah, I think sometimes with these fields that aren't professional standard fields that are, have all this maintenance that a professional field or, like Toyota Field on the other side of campus. No, not Toyota Field. I'm being told, but
not Toyota Field.
Maybe Stamford Bridge in London or
in
Wembley.
a good year. There's been some years where Stamford Bridge has been a potato field, but
there you go.
A lot
I guess
depends.
I don't know my fields.
A lot depends on weather, though. That was a bad winter in London that really messed up Stamford Bridge because Highbury, for those old enough to back in my day, Arsenal played in Highbury. They had a really bad pitch that same season. It was just a bad winter in London.
Makes sense.
Look, no, but this is a professional pitch. US women's national team has played here.
It's true. It's a very...
Mexico's played here.
I'm not saying anything about the quality of this field. I like playing on this field. But every field has some areas of dryness, and we haven't had a lot of rain, and sometimes there are some dry areas on the pitch, and it just takes bounces you're not expecting.
Look, one advantage that Stamford Bridge has over Trinity, over the Paul McGinley field, is that Stamford Bridge doesn't have 4 games played on it in a weekend. Whereas Paul McGinley field typically has 4 games on a weekend in it.
Very true.
And so
very good point.
You don't get a lot of time for the pitch to recover. Whereas, like, the worst week that Stamford Bridge is going to have is, like, maybe 4 games a whole week. You play a cup game. There's, the Women's Super League play, the Men's Premier League. And then maybe another, like, a Champions League game. That's your worst 7-day span. Whereas here, you could get all that in a 7-day span. You could play 9-10 games on this pitch, so...
Not to mention that there are occasionally practices here
training, a lot of times those professional fields do not get trained on except for the day before a game, typically. So, a big sign at my local stadium that says "Keep off the grass" when you come for pre-match stuff. And the groundskeeper stands there. He tells players to get off.
Played on a great field this past Friday, and even it had a big mud patch in one part of the field. It was one of the better fields I've ever played on, and still, one spot, mud patch and a little bit of sand.
He's making a good argument for turf.
I'm not trying to make that argument. Although I got an injury on grass this weekend, so maybe I should make the argument for turf.
Could have been worse on two.
Maybe.
Well, my dad's a Luton Town fan, and he talks a lot about how Luton Town have only qualified for Europe twice. One time was when England was banned from competing in Europe, and the other time they had a turf pitch at Kenilworth Road, and UEFA didn't allow turf pitches.
Wow.
And so they weren't allowed to play. Good ball for Sailor Havens. Trying to get round her marker, which is Charlie Rand.
Great tackle from Rand there. Great ball it was from Richards, though, with her head. Really intelligent pass there. Using her head well. You get it? You get that?
That's some good, that's quality pun work. You've been growing into your puns as the season has gone on.
I hope you're proud of me. I've
very proud of that
learned
pun.
from the best over here.
Oh, no. I'm nothing compared to Andy Zoltzman. Cesar on the ball. Played forward. Good little pass there from Barganski. Keeper's going, shot comes. Keeper again stays in front of it. So she parries it, but she keeps the ball in front of her the whole time. Comes down, she's able to gather it back in.
Yeah, she's positioned well as well. Werner really has no choice there but to go near side. And it's a really good shot. Well placed, high, powerful. But because of the fact that she can't get back across goal, the save is made. Good positioning. Well aware of what the danger is and where the danger is by Ford.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. I love goalkeepers wearing track pants too. Big fan. It's because I used to do it. Especially when I played futsal. I didn't want to slide around on the basketball court in shorts.
Track pants though, or the gray sweatpants?
No. It was always track pants. It was track pants.
Was it the Hungarian goalkeeper that would wear the gray sweatpants? I'm not sure I remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Oh, that's a beautiful run. That's the speed. Speed kills. And it really absolutely got Trinity a possession that they really should not have had. Yeah, I don't know if I love the Schreiner defense standing there while one player does all the work to clear it away. There were players in a better position to get that clear sooner, and maybe this chance would have been easier because there were 4 defenders on her because they didn't have to mark up any of those defenders down there. Makes it a lot easier for Trinity to defend.
Yeah, but it goes back to some of the things we've been saying earlier. One, defending takes a lot of effort. Schreiner already, I'm sure, starting to feel that fatigue that comes with defending. And 2, they're set up super defensively. 9 players are behind the ball at most times. That's 4 players in defense, 5 in midfield, 9 players behind the ball at most times. And that leaves, most of the time, you got 1 player only up top as an outlet player. And like you talked about, 1 player is pretty easy to mark.
Yep. And then really good footwork, good skills on the ball from the goalkeeper right there from forward. Something big in the modern game is a goalkeeper that's good with their feet, and she was there.
And that's not the first time. I feel like she's made a few good passes today.
Missed header, maybe a chance here, although cut out well. Good recovery from the Tigers. I'll say it was Hartnett getting back.
And a great find from her as well to keep the ball in play.
Barganski back on it, the goal scorer. Going forward for Schneider. That's going to mean that Barganski's going to run to get in the middle here. Schneider gets round, plays it in. Cleared away, but only as far as the goal scorer, Barganski. Squared well. Chance for a shot. Had to switch to a favored foot.
Man, I thought Barganski had an assist to the 2 goals she has tonight. What an opportunity.
Yeah, big chance there. Just had to switch it to her favored foot, and that kind of allowed the defense to close in, made it a harder shot than it otherwise would have been. A bit of a line change here from the Tigers. Balgobin is one player I see on. Anna Newland comes on. I believe I had just heard a cheer from her sister Ilse, who I saw putting some tactics together pre-match on a whiteboard. So
Staying involved.
yeah, she's still involved. She's an undergraduate assistant, I guess is what you'd call her position right now.
I guess. Some big names coming off for Trinity as well. Bosco, Schneider, Richards, to name a few.
Yeah, I don't think it's very surprising. This is about
No.
the time they make those kind of changes. So it doesn't feel like anyone's really gassed or anything. It's
No.
just let's give people some minutes. I suspect the second half will see a lot more changes for Trinity if the score stays the way it is. Or increases. Notably though, Barganski stays on. She wasn't starting at the beginning of the season. She's had a really long run of starts lately, has Madison Barganski. So she's had 7 straight starts now after not starting the first, what would that be, 5 games of the season? So this is now 8 starts, I should say. I thought Barganski maybe came back from an offside position. Referee did not raise his flag, so must have been onside because he's got a better angle than I do. Good switch here from the Tigers. Cesar playing it forward. Advantage is accruing for the Tigers. It's come out to the wing. Harrison was wanting a call that the advantage was lost there, but they got it into the box in the end. So he felt that the ball was going away from them. They actually kept possession. It might have been better served actually losing it. Throw in for the Tigers down the right wing here. Trying to turn inside. Gets the ball past, but she can't get past. Good work here defensively to stand her up. Not letting her through. Either the ball gets past or she gets past, but she hasn't been able to get both past. Yeah, just pushed off the ball there. Free kick for the Tigers, edge of the area. We'll see who's going to take it. Cesar's going over, but I don't know if she's going to be the one to take it.
Nobody else having.
Nobody else is there though, so Cesar does sometimes run corners. And I see Maggie Hartnett also. Madison Barganski's going to stand in the wall. That was the instruction. I don't know if she loved it.
No, I don't think she did. I think she wants to go grab a third. I think Hartnett's going over to have a conversation about who's going to make what type of run maybe or what type of ball they want to put in, although she's not going back into the middle to talk about it.
Swung in over the top by Cesar. For a second there, I thought it might get all the way through to the keeper. It ends up running out for a goal kick. And so a substitution here. 14 minutes to go here in the first half. So coming on, Autumn Zay for Schreiner. Started a lot of games at the beginning of the season. Did the junior forward out of Austin. She wears number 5. She does play defense and attack, hence the number 5 on the back of her shirt. She's been slotted into a number 5 position too. They list her as a striker, but she does play both. Which is a move, being a striker and a central defender. That's what every central defender wants. Getting up front, scoring goals. We do have a player coming up later this season who is listed in the team sheet for their team as a goalkeeper and a midfielder.
Interesting.
They're straight up listing in the team. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what position they play when they come out here. But you got to watch November. Coming this November.
The midfield goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper / midfielder. But it's another, you know, I mean, it can only be one of 2 teams, so I guess I've narrowed that down for you.
Oh, who is it? Who's it going to be?
Yeah, we'll see. The hint is it's research I'm working on right now, so, you know.
Oh, you didn't have to say that.
Well, I mean,
you gave it away.
You know. It's already narrowed down to 2 teams, so. Good work on the line to come away with that from Schreiner, cleared away. Tigers back on it though. Again, like you were saying, 9 behind the ball. Or were you counting the goalkeeper in that 9? Yes.
No, I
no,
was
so
not.
10 behind
10
the ball.
behind the ball. And at times 11. If it goes to the center backs of Trinity, it's going to be 11.
Schreiner making a change. Let me Sandra Garza coming on. Right-footed midfielder. She ran track and cross country in high school. She competed at state in cross country, but she also plays tennis for Schreiner, which has been a famous combination for some athletes, soccer and tennis. Mary Cardoni, who is now the goalkeeper coach at Southwestern, played goalkeeper and tennis. Her brother, of course, Matt, was a goalkeeper here at Trinity. And for San Antonio FCN, the San Antonio Scorpions, rest in peace. He has since retired. Holds the San Antonio FC record, holds the San Antonio soccer record for most appearances on the bench, which is always going to be held by a goalkeeper, so you know. It's going to take some beating. The San Antonio pro soccer record, I should say. I don't have the data for amateurs. Because I'm sure somebody's going to be like, nah, I've played 400 games on the bench for some local parkside. I'm like, yeah, I don't have that data. Just pro games. In the middle to Cesar, who's playing more like a number 6 role today.
Yep. Yeah, especially
holding mid.
Especially once Richards has gone out. I think a lot of the times the two of them switch back and forth. Kind of depends on who leads an attack, who's open in the attack, who naturally goes forward. It's been different now. Askew and Polak have come into that midfield, and between the two of them, both of them looking to get forward a little bit more, especially Askew, who seems to be playing that number 10 role. But Cesar maybe doing a little bit of the dirty work so that her teammates can reap the benefits.
Although not anymore because she's coming off. So Hannah Khan coming on and Isabella Rueda.
Rueda, another player who can play that 6 role. So
yep, I suspect that's a straight swap. That's what it looked like because that was who she traded the bib with. Hannah Khan, dangerous player to have coming off your bench. Blocked. Handball penalty. Yep. Referee points to the spot. Is Barganski still on the bench?
No, she just came off.
Barganski came off for Khan.
Yep, who's going to take it?
So it won't be Barganski. It's going to be Khan to take the penalty. You know Barganski's on the bench, just like, could have been me.
Could have been.
As far as I know, Hannah Khan has not taken a penalty before.
Well,
but she does now, puts it away. Just passes it into the back of the net.
Nice and simple.
If you hit it far enough, you don't need a lot of power. If you can hit that right spot, low, and right on the angle, we're going to get another look at this. I don't think we're going to get a great angle at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Arms out, jumping up. Not a ton of intent there, but
it's so far out of
how the rule works. When your arm's out that far from your body, it's going to be a handball, especially if it falls to your advantage like that did. It's one thing if that happens and it falls to a Trinity player and they get a shot, you can maybe get away with it.
And judging by her face, I think she knew.
She knew,
She looked upset as soon as it happened, and sometimes it just happens.
So goal for Hannah Khan, 23rd of her career, 3rd of the season.
And she's on it again. Oh, what a
play
pass.
Through for Balgoba. Needs some support, though. Just waiting for people to get in the box. She had to kind of hold it up there, I think, more than she'd have liked. I think she was looking to quickly cut it back and looked up and saw she couldn't because there wasn't an option. So Hannah Khan came in for Barganski and scored the penalty, which means Barganski almost certainly was going to take that penalty if she would have been really hard to get the ball away from her if she was on.
Yeah, and she wanted it, right? I mean, you'd assume she wants it, but maybe she has some stigma about penalties.
Yeah, I mean, look,
you never know.
You can be a great goal scorer and terrible at penalties.
Yeah.
I was a bad goal scorer and terrible at penalties.
I took penalties as a center back for both my club and high school teams.
And I was a bad goalkeeper. I was a triple threat for my back line. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Good opportunity here. Found Sandra Garza well. Right as I'm saying it's a good opportunity, though.
Kylie
Trinity
Harris.
come back away with it. Good ball wide for Khan. Just scored the penalty. Gets inside. Can't open up the space for the shot. Maybe now.
Ooh.
No, good coverage again.
It's a great tackle there.
And I believe that was Gaza again. Yes, it was. It's that stuff that Schreiner's been doing really well at moments. Like, they've just come through. That was just snuck up on her. I don't think she knew she was there at all.
No, and Khan did a lot of good footwork to, like you said, she's trying to create this space. Finally, she created it. She had some good footwork to make something happen there. Tackle right at the end.
Yeah, I think she didn't know she was there. She's caught offside on that occasion. So a relieving free kick there. Back underway from the Mountaineers. Is that going to be cut out? Yeah, although a heavy touch. Although a heavy touch again, so Balgobin back on the ball. Just nudged off it. Good shoulder-to-shoulder work there from the Mountaineers. Back with Trinity again. A poor pass from the Mountaineers. Balgobin looking to turn. Can't do so. Cleared away by Schreiner. But this is a challenge with having so many back. When you clear the ball away, there's no one there to get it.
Yeah, and if you want to clear towards one of your players, you're going to have to clear centrally. Because when you're playing with 10 players, counting the goalkeeper behind the ball, and only one player forward, that player's going to be central most of the time. And so if you try to clear it wide, where the outside backs may have gone forward, and that space might be, there's nobody on your team there. And so instead, you're going to have to try and play it through the middle, and then you're going to find Hartnett and Kylie Harris, who have been absolutely brilliant this year.
Yeah, Trinity only keeping 2 back because they don't really need to keep any more back. Tried to swing that in, a little too close to the keeper, who claims.
It's a great run from Anna Newland there, though. Gets a good cheer from the bench.
Yeah, I can think of one specific person on the bench giving that a cheer. Sister Ilsa. That might count as a second shot on target in her career. Anna does a lot of sports writing. Won a journalism award for sports opinion writing in her high school newspaper. Over the top, it's a beautiful ball for Khan. It might just beat her. It does. It was a good ball, though.
I think that ball was so good that nobody expected it. And so Khan's caught a little off guard, doesn't expect it coming like it did. Not really ready on her toes to run after that. It's a great ball from Rueda. Saw something that nobody else on the field saw. And unfortunately, it's the same reason that doesn't find anybody's foot.
Yep. Yeah, it was a great ball. Just a little too good for Hannah Khan. Schreiner now trying to play it out of the back. Discipline from the Tigers to let them pass it around just enough. Deflection there. Maybe he's given Schreiner an opportunity. There's a runner coming right in the form of Cancino. That's where they're trying to play it to. I think it's just going to hold up. Tigers shepherd it out.
It's the most players they've had forward at one time in a dangerous attack so far.
Yeah, it was a good idea. The ball out to Cancino was a great idea, just not enough weight on the pass. I think if there's a little more power behind that, Cancino gets a really dangerous position to cut it back.
And weight wide. I think the ball was weighted too much towards the end line, which allowed Michaela Bovin to get back and around it. But I think if that ball is more weighted towards the sideline, it's more of a through ball then that she can run onto and then find the cutback, as you said.
Yeah, real good opportunity there from Schreiner, now keeping a few players forward. Bovin got the touch away. A few players getting there. Enough for Trinity. Good work there from Ellie Creek. Got an LA from the bench.
I think that was
Khan makes the space, has a shot. And goes into forwards. Grateful Arms. Yeah, that was a great bit of skill there from Ellie Creek. Starting a little later, coming on a little later than she has been doing. But I think partially because of just the game situation, just where the game is. She's not needed to push something for a goal. They're already 3-0 up by the time she came on. But they were 2-0 up when they was trying to make those decisions. So Not as much a need for her work as an impact player off the bench. Ball just played into the middle.
I think interestingly enough, though, about Creek, I don't think she's playing the position she normally plays. I see her over on that right back side right now, over on the far side, which makes me wonder. Again, you said we're going to see some different things tonight. I was thinking in terms of players. I think you were thinking the same, but can be in terms of where players are playing as well. And if you can get Creek on the field in the starting 11 by finding different positions for her, it'd be a really good thing for Trinity. She's not going to break into the starting 11 in that midfield because that midfield has a lot of veteran players with a lot of talent. That's her future with the team, but for now, you want to find players to get her involved or ways to get her involved.
Yeah, one of the ways you develop talent is by getting them more minutes on the park. Good work there defensively to come away with it here, Schreiner. And so it was Lily Cow. Good work to win that and win the corner. Great work from Lily Cow for Schreiner. Playing in her 10th game as a first-year player. All off the bench, but making a case. Right now, she worked hard to gather possession and then to win that corner. Really great work to stick with it. Takes a lot of work. As we're about to hit the final minute and a half. Corner kick here. Maybe an opportunity for Schreiner to pull one back, and that would be fascinating coming into the second half. Ball swung in. Just beyond everybody, though. If Trinity can keep this in and gather it, it could be a chance for the counter, because this is the most forward we've seen Schreiner. It's the most attack-minded they've been all day.
Yeah, by a lot as well. And that corner kick, I think it was actually a really, really good set piece. You said it goes over everybody. I think that's because the runs that started at the back post went central, and maybe there's then miscommunication. But where the runs started, if they had stayed put, might have found somebody's head, might have had an opportunity to score there.
Good ball forward, touch miss. Balgobin putting some pressure on here. Nearly got a touch. Good work to pass it around Balgobin. She gets stuck in. She really does that hard work. She's willing to come back and win the ball, which a lot of players playing that position don't do. We'll see if they hoof it forward. Yeah, they're going long. Time running out here in the first half. That's going to be it. Until it's half time here at Paul McGinley Field. Trinity, pretty great start. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes to make it 2-0. It's now 3, a penalty from Khan added to it. It's been a dominant performance from the Tigers. Schreiner, though, had some chances late in that first half, so we'll see how things play out. In the second half, we'll be back here in about 15 minutes to bring you the second half.
Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college, fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.
We are back here about a minute to go before we get started in the half. There's your halftime stats. Reflects the domination that Trinity have had. 13 shots to 0-7 on target. And so that means that Jaden Ford has now faced 32 shots on the season. We'll have a look at the goals. Here's that opener. Just a beautiful volley. Laid it down out of the reach of the keeper.
Really smart finish.
Beautiful cutback to create the opening goal. Second, the clearance just doesn't fall where they wanted to. Boganski, powerful volley.
Such a good hit. It's such a good hit.
Gets a brace. Less than a minute apart, those two goals. There was the chance that was saved, and then the penalty from Hannah Khan. Keeper gets the right way, but she positioned it so well. It's such a well-placed penalty. Placement on penalties is so important. The late chance there. Just got it over the bar, and so we're back out for the second half.
Very different lineup to start this half for Trinity than the one that started the first half.
Yeah, see Maya Azimi starting the half. That's that one player that you can see right there, spiking the camera for a second.
Looks like Williard's in at center back with Harris, with Bovin out on this right side.
Unsurprisingly, led by Boganski. I think it's going to be hard to get her to come off the pitch with her on a hat trick.
So the back line, I think, has had one change. Hartnett comes off and Bovin comes in, but they're kind of shifted around a little bit in that same group almost.
And Hartnett's been that player that's come in really for Ilse Newland, who's been sort of the iron woman of the team over the years, but is out with an injury. Azimi really quick to close down there. Schreiner trying to start the second as they close to the first. Ellsworth. To De Hoyos has a bit of a go. Goalkeeping change for the Tigers as well. Claire Binns.
Drop in. Leave that. That's fine.
Which might mean that Lauren Lewis doesn't get. We'll see how NCAA rules on it. If a half counts as a shutout, I think they will give it to her. So give her 10, might put her top. Schreiner with an opportunity to get forward. Oh, I found an answer to that hat trick, by the way. Fastest hat trick
Just drop back
in NCAA Division III history. In terms of distance between first goal and third goal, it's 1 minute and 7 seconds. In terms of total game time, it's 2:18. But it's the same event. It's Jamie Sims scoring a hat trick for Otterbein against Muskingum, October 19th, 2002. That's the fastest hat trick in NCAA D3 history.
It was on. It was on for Barganski based on the numbers here. She could have.
She did it in what? The 2 goals were 24 seconds apart. So she had some time to play with for a minute.
Trinity scores, but it's not going to count
Disallowed
for
offside.
Right decision there.
Yeah, no complaining at all from anybody, which is astounding. So, clear offside. We'll get going again. Yeah, she did score those 2 goals 24 seconds apart, so.
Very impressive. Although you said the first or the quickest goal, this was another stat that you had during halftime, quickest goal in NCAA D3 women's history or this season?
History.
6 seconds.
6 seconds. Sarah Goss for St. Norbert against Edgewood, September 1st, 2004. One thing that I was thinking we could have been on for is fastest consecutive goals for the same player. But no, 9 seconds. Jody Johnson for St. Scholastica against Mount
How do you even get the
Señeiro.
game restarted that quickly?
September 4th, well, the clock stops. September 4th, 1999.
That's still 9 seconds after a kickoff, right back in.
The most impressive one in the list is consecutive goals opposing teams. So a goal and then an equalizer. 3 seconds.
Wow.
Western Connecticut
That's scoring from kickoff.
and then Wheaton.
That tells me that Connecticut, the goalkeeper, celebrated a little bit
A
too
little
much.
too hard.
And they allowed kickoff while the goalkeeper was not ready, and they shot from very far away and scored.
So you go. There's your completely wild stats.
Stats of the half. Oh, good interception from Ozimi. Great
See, now I'm
pass.
looking at these stats and I'm getting distracted because I just saw an absolutely aggressively wild stat. How many saves do you think the most saves in a single game in NCAA D3 women's soccer would be from one goalkeeper in a single game?
Given how you're reacting, I want to give a crazy answer, and then I feel like it's going to be crazier than what I say, too.
Yeah.
20.
No. 55.
What? What?
Yeah.
You said a single half?
A single game.
A single game, okay.
Single game.
Still.
One goalkeeper. 55 saves in a game. That poor woman.
Oh, my goodness.
I
wonder if she allowed any goals.
Becky Bernays. Well, it was Alvernia versus Wesley, September 25th, 1999, if anyone's got the box score.
55 shots
55
on target is
saves
crazy.
From Becky Bernays. Just aggressive.
What kind of stat is that?
That's the most insane stat I think I've ever seen in my life.
I'm just trying to think of 55 shots on target.
That's more than a shot every other minute.
Yeah.
Shot from distance. High and wide.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad idea. Keeper was having to scramble back just a tad there.
Did her due diligence there to jump. I don't think she was too worried about it, but gotta show that effort sometimes.
Worst part about that 55 saves in a game stat, she doesn't even hold the record for most saves average per game. Ozimi has a go,
Oh.
just can't get around it as much as she wanted. It goes away.
Yeah, she wants to wrap it in at that far post. Just doesn't wrap enough. Not quite enough curl on it. Trinity winning the ball high up the pitch on a few occasions here. Schreiner, again, though, set up really well defensively in their own box. So far, all of Trinity's really good opportunities, at least shots-wise, have come from distance or difficult crosses, but Askew trying to make something happen on her own here.
Yeah, Bargansky was on the right.
Yeah.
I was really surprised she didn't take the option.
Yeah, I saw your finger pointing. Too bad
Ball comes in.
Askew didn't see your finger.
Kankan Razumi. Yeah, I mean, they're just not connected telepathically.
Should be.
I think it would be a lot worse if I was making any tactical decisions. Any of these players would be in trouble. I do not hold a coaching cert. Good ball wide. Creek. Good way for Boven. Attempted turn just doesn't come off for the Tigers. Bargansky putting some pressure on. Good little triangles here from Schreiner to get out. Comes all the way back for Williard. Oh, beautiful turn
Oh,
from Askew.
it's good football here.
Bargansky lays it off. She's going to go run into the middle though. Swung in, headed away well by Schreiner. Controlled. Chance maybe for Trinity to get in.
That was a really good build.
Handball, I think, is the decision in the end.
Really good build all the way around. Ball comes in to Ozimi. Ozimi out to Bargansky on the wing. Bargansky holds up the play, gives her players time in the box, but can't get the cross in. But she doesn't force it. She's patient. She passes the ball back, finds Boven. Boven has time, takes a touch, puts the ball into the box. It's really well done across the board.
No, ball has gone out before that header came, so it's a throw to Schreiner.
No, but it was really kind and empathetic thinking from Michaela Boven to save the monitor and your computer and all this equipment
just trying to
here.
save all our equipment, really, is what was happening there. I almost got hit by a ball in the warm-up, so, you know.
We haven't been hit yet. We've come close, though.
It's been a while since one came flying right at us, though. You haven't annoyed anybody in class enough, I
No.
think is what's happening.
Is that encouragement that I should? Do you want to get kicked
No,
at?
no, I do not.
So then I'm doing a good job.
I'm doing great. Yeah, I would rather not have a concussion from doing commentary.
Or a broken set of equipment or
broken
any of
equipment.
it. Yeah, I don't think I could handle another concussion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone really. No one wants a concussion.
No, nobody wants a concussion. I just think it would be, I don't know. It would be very bad if I got another
you got
concussion,
one more,
to say
yeah.
the least. Last one was bad enough.
Yep, let's avoid them. Tigers working up the left now. Played through, good work, good footwork. Right as I'm saying that, the pass doesn't quite come off. Now maybe on the counter, although Trinity have kept enough players back, it's going to be blocked out for a throw. It's going to allow more players to come back.
The ball was on, though. It was
Yeah,
a good idea
idea.
with the pass, but Kylie Harris shut it down really well.
Play it forward. Tigers going to have pace though. Plays it out for a throw. She wanted the throw, thought it took a touch, but assistant disagrees. So a throw in for the Mountaineers. Been a much better start to the second half than the first for them. Through 11 minutes. Trinity haven't looked terribly threatening. They've looked dangerous going forward, but they haven't looked like scoring.
No, but one thing you want to note in a difference between two halves is there's a difference of players who have been on so far, and Trinity came out with what they believe is their strongest starting 11, their 11 starters to start the game, and got 2 goals pretty quickly. And hasn't been the same 11 to start this half.
Beautiful ball up the left. Opportunity here to cut it back. Barganski's calling for it.
Askew's there. Oh,
Ozimi makes some space, has a shot. Didn't make quite enough space.
ball.
Keeps the ball alive. Gets it out to Barganski. Cut into the middle, cleared away. Boven. Lays it off for Williard. Williard squares. Up the wing on the left.
Ooh.
Just got away from her as it goes out for a throw. Can't quite see who is it. Hannah Khan
Hannah
on
Khan,
that far side? Yeah.
No, it's a good ball from Harris there. Just a little bit to the left of Khan in the end. I think she could have gotten there. I just think maybe another one of those bounces that goes not quite exactly where you think it's going.
Trinity throw here. I think everybody thought it was a Schreiner throw. No one was coming up for Trinity to take it. Blocked right into the Tigers' players. Good ball played back. Just a soft touch. For Schreiner to make a decision there. Do they come and try and get the ball, or do they sit back? They went with sit back. So all 11 behind the ball. Comes out well for Askew. Goes in. Oh, the call was to get it wide for Barganski.
Still
Maybe
can.
she will now. She does.
Did well to draw a player as
Barganski's
well.
on it. Oh, skins one opponent, then crosses it back. Far post.
Oh,
Just couldn't find a teammate. It's going to run for a throw-in for Schreiner.
and one thing I really liked there from that build, I thought it was Barganski too, but I think Barganski had made a run central. It's Boven, the outside back, who snuck up forward, and I think Askew does a really good job on the ball. She wants to play the pass wide at first, and that's what everybody's telling her to do, and she doesn't play it. She goes back inside. She comes back. Now the defender's ready for it. Instead of playing the pass immediately, she draws that defender more central, gives Boven the space. If she had played it right away, Boven doesn't have the space for the cross, so she creates space for her teammate by holding on to it a second longer. It's a really good decision.
Yeah, worked out pretty well there. Good opportunity for the Tigers. Coming out wide left. Options there. Although she's cutting into the middle.
She had a hit from here earlier this season.
Goes out for Boven. Slips as she's trying to shoot, though. And it's cleared away. There's no one there, though, so it's going to be real easy for the Tigers together. Binns comes out. Sure. People in two minds there. Got to be... If Schreiner was coming, that would have been a really dangerous opportunity. You got to come or not come as a keeper. That's always what the deal is. Can't hesitate as a goalkeeper. Even now getting forward, big gap still for Schreiner between defence and attack. One player in the midfield. Ball over the top. Is Khan going to run onto it? Is she going to be quick enough? Yes. Gets the ball. Barganski's there in the middle. She's cut back. An opportunity to cut it back. Enough players around it, though, to get there and clear it away for a throw for Trinity.
Barganski's all the way over to the far side to take it.
A little over half an hour to go. Trinity 3, Schreiner 0.
I think you made a good point about Schreiner's issues going forward. They're still not connected. You know, they made the transition. It's no longer only one player forward, but then it was one player in the midfield. And now Trinity has the ability to transition through you pretty easily and go from defense to attack easily. Again, it's hard when you've been having to work really hard off the ball for the entirety of the game to then, you know, have that energy to go forward as a team and stay connected. But it's something you have to do. If you're not connected as a team with possession and without possession, you're going to leave some spaces open. And then a team like Trinity, they know how to exploit it.
Yeah, and they very nearly did that. Drew on her defender, but played through, and again, all 11 behind the ball. Opportunity here on the left. Cut back. Swung and it's blocked. There was a half-hearted appeal for a handball.
Ooh.
Referee said no, ball got through everybody. Claimed by forward.
It was an interesting ball from Harris. She hits it with the outside of her foot. If anybody had expected her to play that ball straight into the box, I think could have been a dangerous opportunity, but I think everybody just a little caught off guard by how quickly and how well that cross got into the box from such an awkward position, especially for a right-footed player.
Bovin cuts inside one, gets inside another, blocked. I don't know how much he knew about the header, Ellie Creek, but did enough. Yeah, I mean, one little touch on that, and it's a goal. It's like we see a lot in hockey, you know, the ball puck across the face, just gets deflected by a stick. Could have happened there. Run down here from Schreiner, blocked well. Ball miscontrolled by the Tigers. Going to be a free kick though. Just a little too much hands on that one. See Anna Newland getting ready to come on. Sounds like Baganski's coming off.
Not so sure about that hat trick now. I don't know if she'd come back on.
I don't know if she'll come back on with the score of 3-0. Deflected, so she's going to have to score before the ball goes out.
Erin O'Donnell also coming on.
It's going to go out for a goal kick. And now those subs will come. Erin O'Donnell's coming on, as well as Anna Newland, which might be putting Anna Newland up front, because she did say she was coming on for Barganski.
Yeah, I think she'll be going on that right wing. Ozimi still through the middle.
Yeah, she'll be taking that spot on the right. And then Erin O'Donnell, the other change. She comes in for her 11th game of the season. 3-time regional champion in ECNL. Chance on the counter here for Schreiner. Ball's going to be favourable for Trinity. Played back. Did it take a touch? I don't think it did. It did not. So a corner kick. Second corner of the night for the Mountaineers.
Trinity just caught napping a little bit there. Unaware that the last touch was theirs. Didn't really go for it. But, I mean, Schreiner had a decent corner earlier in the game. It's always a chance from a corner. It's always a chance from a set piece.
It's a corner here.
Their coaches definitely think so. They're
Could make
up
it
and ready.
interesting. 3-1, very different scoreline.
It's a great ball.
Floated in near post, headed away by the Tigers. Falls favorably. Shot comes, but it's going to go wide. Follow-up shot there was from Abigail Scott.
It was a great ball in originally. Just puts it into a dangerous area. Unfortunate for Schreiner that it falls to a Trinity shirt. But then the shot comes again, falls again to a Schreiner shirt. The shot, although from there, it's going to always be really tough to get it on target with enough power, challenge the keeper, and that time goes for power and the placement. Sometimes you got to decide between the two of them.
Yeah, it was Abby Scott's last action, so for now at least, she comes off. Replaced by Sarada Fanetti.
Hartnett looks to be coming back on.
Attempted switch cleared away by the Mountaineers. Oh, Tigers might regret that header because it would have been their throw. In the end, goes out. So it's a Schreiner throw. Ozimi turns, lays it back. Good switch here for Bovin. Bovin looks up, sees the options. Play well, maybe having a go. Good ball, far post. Controlled beautifully, needs to get some space for the shot though, which just didn't open up. Cleared away by the Mountaineers. Yeah, beautiful ball. Perfect floated ball. Beat the offside trap. Bovin with another good ball. Ozimi tries to gather it in, can't do so.
Just said it beats the offside trap, and I think that's a really important piece of that because there's a reason it beats the offside trap, and that's because Ozimi, who's playing as that 9, occupying the 2 center backs, she makes a run back towards the ball, pulls the two center backs out of the way. So then when that run comes in, there's the space. It makes it look like, oh, she should be offside. She's not, because Ozimi has moved defenders out of the way. She makes a run. She doesn't get the ball. You don't always have to get the ball to make an impact on the play. Had that gone in, Ozimi's a huge part of that goal, having never touched it in that build-up.
Yeah, it's something Arsene Wenger used to say. He used to hate this idea of passive offside. Because he thought if you're on the pitch and you are not impacting the play, you shouldn't be on the pitch. Of course, he also railed against the Champions League letting Liverpool in when they didn't finish in the top 4, saying it's a Champions League. Arsenal finished 3rd that season. So I don't understand what Arsene's argument was on that one.
Well, that was his famous, isn't that the famous thing they say? He's the 4th place trophy.
4th place is a trophy.
4th place trophy in the Premier League.
It's a significant financial difference between coming 4th and 5th in, well, it's probably not even 5th anymore. It's probably 6th or 7th now in the Premier League with how many Champions League spots there are.
No, it's top 4 get Champions League, and then 5th,
Well,
6th
but
get
now
Europa
there's that,
League.
now there's that bonus spot.
Bonus spot.
Yeah. When they expanded the Champions League, they added 2 places for the 2 highest countries.
Really?
So now you can come 5th and get Champions
that-
League football.
That wasn't last year, but maybe this coming year then.
No, this season. This is the
This
first
first
Champions League
season.
season with the 2
So
extra spots.
Was
I don't know if England was one
England
of
must
them.
not have been one, because I was a fan of a team that was on the outskirts of making European competitions and made one and not the other. And had that happened, they would have been in Europa League instead of Conference League.
I know I can't relate. My team won the 2nd tier competition in Asia, so, you know. AFC Cup champions. Well, we won't talk about how this year's Champions League is going for Central Coast Mariners.
Does that AFC Cup, does that get you to the World Cup, Club World Cup?
No. Have to win the Asian Champions League.
My team's in the Club World Cup, so.
Yeah, well, they're letting everybody in nowadays.
Yeah, Inter Miami just qualified.
Inter Miami got in.
I'm
They
not
didn't
sure
even
how.
win a continental
yeah.
competition.
They won the regular season? I don't know.
They have Lionel Messi. That's how they got in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ozimi has a touch. Just can't get it away.
Maybe Ozimi just as confused as everybody else or surprised as everybody else that the referee allowed play on there.
I think the general consensus from most people here was that was foul.
Yeah, I think the arm raised. It's a little bit more than shoulder to shoulder there.
Yep, as a reminder, shoulder to shoulder is okay. Anything else, not okay. Not a contact sport.
Technically, it's all allowed if the ref doesn't see it.
Yeah, everything's legal if you cheat.
It's true.
Just ask Juventus.
Yeah. Gotten in trouble for it a few times, though.
I think it's safer to assume Juventus is cheating.
All the time.
Yeah, until you're proven otherwise. My beloved Leeds United should have been champions of Europe if not for a dodgy referee, and Juventus won the Champions League. Well, it wasn't the Champions League back then. The European Cup.
Oh, my team should have been to a Champions League final, but lost to Barcelona in a semifinal that's widely considered one of the most poorly officiated games at that type of level of all time, during a time which people have actually know for a fact that Barcelona were paying the refs during that time.
I don't know, 70s Italian soccer.
Oh, yeah.
These
Well,
people
that's
these people
something
these people
different.
weren't watching the European Cup in the 1970s.
That's something different.
Boy, oh boy, when Italian teams played in Europe in the 70s, there were some interesting decisions. One of those little moments in Leeds United's history where you think, oh man, if that went differently, maybe where Leeds are now is different. Well left. It's a good leave to allow the ball to come through for Boven. Breeds Her marker. Got support out wide. Takes it. Just couldn't haul it in. Could ask you. It's out for a throw-in. So we're in the final 19 minutes of this one. And coming in for the Tigers is Isabella Rueda. Tigers building it up. It was an interesting idea. There wasn't really anyone running for the ball, so I get why Williard did it. Like, have a go. No one's really showing any intent to receive a pass from you or give you options, so you may as well have a shot. They're definitely not going to expect it. Just got a little too under it, which looped it, allowing the keeper a simple save.
Yeah, I think Creek made a run a little bit earlier than Williard wanted to play the ball, and by the time Williard shapes to actually play that pass, as you said, nobody's moving at that point, and then have a shot. And as you mentioned earlier, I think some of the men's soccer team are here, over on the right side of the screen now, just out of view.
Out of
but
shot. Yeah, they came down after their practice to support. I mean, they've usually been sticking around too, because this season the men's games are before the women's games. And so they've been sticking around and watching the games after they do their usual cool-down procedures. They'll come down and check it out. So it's good to see that continuing despite them not having a game. It's going to be a throw for the Tigers, just inside their own half. A lot of opportunities for different shapes, different players in different positions tonight.
Don't suck into that. Do not suck into that.
Trinity just comfortable throughout. It's been a strong display. Haven't looked overly troubled. There's been a few moments where Schreiner have had chances, but again, there's just no one forward, so
yep.
They can take all the time in the world.
Hey, now where do you go, Serrata?
Yeah, I think right now the mentality from Schreiner, and you can hear it from the coaches, is how do we set up defensively, and how do we maintain our shape? Which players do we mark? And I think it's tough. You want to go forward, obviously, and you've been defending for a lot of the game, but it's an opportunity now to learn as you take this game and you say, look, this is a really good team that we're going to play against. Let's work on marking and defending and things like that, and maybe move to be a little bit better with it going forward into games that maybe are a little bit more competitive.
And the challenge is you don't do it at the start of the game.
Yeah.
And you find yourself 3-0 down.
Yeah.
Trying to get that turn. Lays it off. Played across the face. O'Donnell lays it back for Williard. Williard sent forward. Ozemi stayed onside. Now it's Schreiner coming away with it. Tigers get it back. O'Donnell played forward for Ozemi.
Ooh.
Good ball. That found Anna Newland. Needs some options though. She's got some. She's got Boven there. Instead goes for Ozemi. Worked out. Ozemi now finds a Newland. Sorry, Boven. Shot was there. Just got her feet stuck in the turf.
It's a really good first-time ball in from Boven there. Well laid off by Ozemi as well to give her the option for that first-time ball. Just not a... when your number 9 is laying off a ball for a first-time cross, there's probably not going to be that many players in the box then. Kind of the case there. It sneaks to the back post for Hannah Kahn.
Beautiful little work on the ball there by Newlands to keep possession. Ball bounces favorably for Schreiner. Was gathered well by Tavares. So throw in for Schreiner. So we're going to see changes. Kaylee Ellsworth coming in, Balgobin in for Trinity, Schneider in, and also I see Plaisance coming on for the Tigers. And it looks like Balgobin's playing a different position too. She's playing out on the wing now. She's typically been used as that number 9. But with Schneider coming back on, you're going to use Schneider in that 9 spot. So Balgobin now gets a chance to impress in a different position.
Yeah, again, talking about opportunities for different players and talking about opportunities for the same players in different positions.
Speaking of different players, Plaisance on the ball now. Good ball for Anna Newland. Beats one, couldn't beat the second, but kept possession. That's all that matters. Plaisance back on the ball.
Oof,
Play through,
pass.
beautiful ball forward. Blocked, it's going to be a corner. That's a beautiful pass from Plaisance to create that. And a corner kick now for the Tigers. Tigers setting up far post, but I suspect they're going to run in more. Here's what happened. Ball comes into the middle. Took a deflection. It's taken a few deflections. Header tried to do that. It's a difficult header to do. Back open with the final shot. Just over the bar. That header's really difficult to do when you're trying to flick it behind you.
Yep.
Because one, you can't see, obviously, where you're aiming.
It's also hard to generate
It's just hard
anything.
to get any power going
Yep.
back.
Yeah, it's already hard enough to generate power on a header.
Well, there was anybody that's been accidentally headbutt by standing behind someone who stood up suddenly. You can get some power in the back of your head.
Yeah, feels different on you than it does on the ball.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Saw a crazy clip of a Holland goal from back in the day when he was still at before Dortmund. Before
Was it when he was in Molde?
No, I think it was Red Bull Salzburg. Is that where he was before?
Home of the great Jesse Marsh.
And he scored with one of those headers where he's not even facing the goal, and he just flicked it on behind him.
That sounds like something Erling Haaland would do, just for giggles.
Right.
Just like, you know what? It's like Mark Viduka trying to score a bicycle kick against the Solomon Islands in a World Cup qualifier one time. That was fantastic. If it came off, it would have been the best goal I'd ever seen.
You know, sometimes you forget how good some of these players are. Even some of the guys that you think of as like just ordinary players at that pro level. You know, maybe they're first player off the bench or, you know, a regular starter in a mid-table team. They're very good. You remember the name Manolas? I think it's Kostas Manolas.
Sounds familiar.
When he's playing in Greece right now, I believe is where it was, and he's playing for a semi-professional team. And he scored 4 goals in 30 minutes, and his team subbed him off because they're like, this is mean. We can't play a professional player against these semi-pros here, these amateurs.
Not ruthless enough.
They won the game 12-1, so.
Could have been more.
Could have been more.
What if they don't win the league on goal difference? You got to think about these things. Goal difference doesn't matter in college soccer, though, so you don't need to think about these things here.
Not here. There's even more subs getting ready.
So Australia famously beat American Samoa 31-0. It's been the subject of 2 movies. Yep. Next Goal Wins. Both movies are called Next Goal Wins. One's a documentary, one's a dramatization. But with my my friend, of course, is in that movie. But so the reason Australia beat American Samoa 31-0 is because American Samoa had not played New Zealand yet. And they said, well, what if New Zealand beats them by 30? And we let off the gas and only beat them by 30. We'd be in trouble. So, in the end, New Zealand beat them by 28. So, you know, could have eased off at 29, I guess. People going, but why would it matter? Didn't the OFC play in a final system where you'd play a final? Yeah, but it determined who had a home advantage for the final. OFC obviously has since revamped its structure. And also
no longer has Australia.
Australia is not a member of the OFC anymore.
been a while. When did they switch?
2006. So they competed. They went to the 2006 World Cup as a member of Asia, but qualified as a member of Oceania.
Interesting.
They're also the only team in history to have won continental championships on 2 different continents.
That feels like something that won't happen again.
Yeah, unless Israel gets real good.
Yeah.
They're the only other team that could do it. I'd like maybe a South American team switches to North America.
Yeah, I think that you had the idea right that Middle East could switch back and forth like in Egypt. I feel like could.
Azerbaijan could switch.
Right.
Yeah, Egypt could easily switch to Asia. Why not? You know what? Everybody should just be AFC.
Really?
Just
everybody.
It's not going to add that much distance to the Confederation.
You already got to travel.
Australia would prefer
to
playing the United States to playing Bahrain.
Australia versus Kazakhstan. Crazy distance.
My hometown team had to play in the AFC Cup in the regional final. So this is the regional. So this is, quote, East Asia, had to play a Kazakhstan team in the regional final. So Australia to Kazakhstan in a week.
Kazakhstan in East Asia.
Sorry, Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
Slightly further.
Just a little bit, though.
So they border each other. Kyrgyzstan was considered East Asia because of how many teams are in West Asia. For that one. So the regional final was an Australian team and a Kyrgyz team.
Were there only the 2 regions, East and West?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have sub-regions, though. So
I see.
You started in ASEAN, which is Southeast Asia. So it's Indonesia, Australia, Thailand, Philippines.
A lot of islands.
Yeah, all the islands. Burma. So all that. And then you got progressively further west as you went on. So then like our second region, I think, then it was East Asia, like East Asia. So like China, Hong Kong, Singapore. Then South Asia got added, so that's India. Then Kyrgyzstan. Which is never considered East Asia for anything else the Asian Football Confederation does.
Sometimes team numbers don't work the way you want them to, and you got to make them.
It was a great year in MLS where the New York Red Bulls were Western Conference champions. So.
I've been impressed by Balgobin on the wing.
Yeah, I think it's been a good switch
work.
for her. Like, I think often up front she's limited because she doesn't get afforded the space that I think her style needs to thrive. Keeper does well, gathers it in. Good take. Like, I think she thrives on space and being able to use her feet, and she's getting that here.
Yeah, and she's using the space both ways. I've seen her switch with the outside back multiple times. She just was all the way back in her own half, one of the 3 deepest players playing a back pass to a center back. And I think that's the type of player she wants to be. She wants to be all over the field. You know, I think she is more of an attacking player, so you don't want to put her in the midfield. But you want her to have the space to roam and run, which I think puts you on the wing.
Beautiful footwork there from Schreiner.
Real chance.
Good ball forward. Binns is going to come and gather.
Just too much on that ball over the top.
And it's not like Balgobin hasn't done well when she's played up front. She's scored 2 goals.
Oh, yeah.
Which
she's been very good.
Leading the first-year class in the Tigers. She's all-state from Minnesota. So, like, you know, she's good. Good ball over the top. Chance again here for Trinity. Got on the ball. Can she beat a defender? She does. She cuts it back.
Oh, what a save.
Incredible goalkeeping. Not just to get to it, but to hold it.
Yeah.
Scrambling. Absolutely brilliant goalkeeping from Jaden Ford. We're going to get another look at this.
This was the chance, this half, the best chance of the half for sure.
It was well left by Balgobin too. Smart instinct not to swing at it. But that's incredible work. She was completely in the opposite direction. She comes out, full stretch, gets a touch
Just
on
barely,
it,
yeah.
and then regathers. Phenomenal goalkeeping from Jaden Ford. She's not going to get Defensive Player of the Week, but it's an argument for it. She's made 7 saves tonight.
It's no 55.
Not 55, no.
Decent cross.
Good ball
Oh,
in, just 2 under it.
wow. That was a really good cross. I think Decent was a little harsh on that one. Right on her head. I think she just jumps a little late. Abby Schneider, I think, is the one crashing on it. Yeah.
Yeah, Abby Schneider making a decent run, good run to it. Just didn't get up soon enough to get the ball.
Yeah, I think by the end of her jump, she has the height where she would have scored. She just waited a second too long to jump.
And look, it's been a scoreless half.
Yeah.
I think Schreiner should take something from that, although right as I say that, Trinity has another opportunity.
No, I think they'd be very happy with a 0-0 second half.
Played in. Again, a good gather there from forward. Not the first forward to have a good goalkeeping performance in San Antonio. Jordan Ford used to be the goalkeeper for San Antonio FC, so almost the same name.
Very similar.
Jaden and Jordan. They're not related, if anyone's wondering. But
You never know.
no, we know.
I see.
It's going to be a throw. Would have to be an extraordinarily distant relation. Throw in for the Tigers. You do feel like these players would want a goal because
Yeah.
this
yeah,
is the sort of the second team almost.
they've been pushing a lot more as the half has gone on, pouring more numbers forward. There's barely anyone back right now. Now nobody's back as Hartnett goes forward.
Corner presents a good opportunity for the Tigers. Hartnett forward, Schneider forward. A lot of tall players forward as well.
She's dangerous, she is not.
Goes in the middle of the box, cleared away just over the head of a Tigers player as it runs out. Shot comes off the bar! Recovered by Schreiner. That was a heck of a shot. Bar still rattling after that one.
There's a chance. Oh!
It's taking a touch. It's going to be another corner. We're going to get another look at this. What a shot from a long way out. You know what?
Maybe
Again,
a little
though,
bit of a touch.
forward, I do think it's a touch on that.
Wow.
She's had it. Look, it's 3-0. She's had a good night. She's had some great saves. I don't think she could have done anything on the 3 goals. One of them was a penalty.
It's a great shot from Berbers, though. From
Yeah,
distance.
Noelia Berbers with the chance there. We're going to look at it from this angle. This will tell us if she did get a touch.
Yep.
Yep, that's
Yep.
a touch.
That's a great save.
So that's going to count as a save. So yeah, Noelia Berbers. So just her 3rd game of her career. Would have been a heck of a way to score your first collegiate goal.
You're telling me. The bench was thinking the exact same thing. Everybody
Yeah,
to their feet.
it was an incredible shot from Berbers. So we're in the final 90 seconds of this one. Goes out for a throw. Thrown up the line. Force for Schreiner. Tigers are going to gather. Played in the middle. Balgobin controls, plays it back. Played out wide right. Maybe a chance to swing it in for Newland. Cleared away. Throw in for the Tigers. Finley Hoover's been real active these last few moments too. Number 10 for the Tigers. Thrown in over the top. Goes out for a corner.
There's time.
32 seconds. They're going to have to play it somewhat quickly, but they don't have to go crazy about it. Plenty of time for a corner.
They want this goal. They really want it.
I thought for a second Binns was even coming up for it.
Me too. I wondered.
Balgobin does well to
Oh,
keep
She
control.
wouldn't have another hit. She wouldn't.
10 seconds.
As you go
great
across
ball.
the face.
It's another great ball from Plaisance.
Plaisance does well, but it's going to go out, and that is it. It's all over here at Public in the Field. It's another win for the Tigers, so they move to 11-1-2. Their next game is against St. Thomas on Friday in Houston. Schreiner moved to 10-11-1. Their next match is also against St. Thomas. They play on Sunday. There's your stats. 26 shots to 2, 11 on target to 1. 1 save to 8, 6 fouls to 4. Just not much in this one. 2 offsides, 8 corners to 2. Our next game here is November 1st, which will be against a new team for SCAC, University of the Ozarks. And then the season will close on the Sunday against Centenary. But we will see you then. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next Friday. A good victory for the Tigers, 3-0. From me, Chris Hockman, Scott Lebo with me, and all of us here at Tiger Network. We hope you have a good rest of your week.